Her face didn't belong to her anymore. The girl who opened the door wore my daughter's skin, but her eyes had learned silence too well. I kept my voice light, casual, a visit, a mother checking in. Her husband appeared behind her, smiling, overfamiliar. His hand on her shoulder stayed a fraction too long. She didn't flinch, she just folded inward. We sat in the living room, tea untouched. The air was thin, deliberate. I asked about her health. She said she was fine. Her knuckles were white around the cup. When he left the room to answer a call, her hand slipped beneath the coffee table, into mine. I felt the press of paper, small, deliberate. Her eyes didn't move from the wall. I didn't look at it then. I waited until the visit was over, until the front door shut behind me, until I was halfway down the street. In my pocket, one folded note, one small photograph. The note read, "Help me." The photograph showed her, skin shadowed over bone, eyes sunken, taken in that same living room but without the careful lighting. I didn't call her that night, didn't storm the house, didn't throw accusations into the air where they could dissipate harmlessly. Instead, I sat at my kitchen table, the note spread before me. I traced the handwriting, her hand, but shaking. I studied the photograph until the corners bent under my fingers. This wasn't sudden. Her eyes had carried that muted terror last winter, when she avoided questions about her weight, when she said she was happy without smiling. Her in-laws had always been careful, polished in public. Church smiles, polite gifts, invitations without warmth. Her husband, charming enough until you watched the way he directed her answers in conversation. The betrayal sat in my chest like a fist. Not just his betrayal of her, but mine, trusting him with her life. And under that, a quiet truth I didn't want to look at. She had not called the police. She had not run. She had called me. Because she knew I would not fail her twice. I began with distance. A week passed before I returned. I told them I wanted to help with errands, cook meals. He agreed too easily. Every visit was a study. I saw the way she paused before speaking, glancing at him like she was asking permission without words. I saw the bruises, small, patterned, where a wrist might be gripped hard. But it was not just him. Her mother-in-law's voice carried that syrupy venom, compliments lined with cuts. Her father-in-law watched in silence, a still shadow that told me he had long learned not to interfere. I didn't challenge them. I smiled. I thanked them for tea. I asked about the neighbors, the weather, their holidays. And when their guard loosened, I learned. Bank accounts in his name only. A locked bedroom drawer he kept the key to on a chain around his neck. A family physician who preferred to see her without me present. I went home and wrote it all down. Dates, times, details no one could dispute. I contacted an old friend in law enforcement, quietly, gathered medical reports through a sympathetic nurse, hired a private investigator. The truth grew like mold in the dark, slow, inevitable. The investigator delivered the report in a plain envelope. Inside, photographs, statements, financial records. The abuse was documented, patterns too precise to be dismissed as accidents. Her husband's affair detailed in hotel receipts, text transcripts. Bank withdrawals traced to gambling debts he'd hidden under her name. I visited the house that evening. Dinner was served. I smiled, ate little. When the plates were cleared, I reached into my bag and slid the envelope across the table. He opened it. I watched his face shift from dismissal to unease to calculation. "You've been busy," he said finally. I didn't answer. Her eyes flickered between us, confusion giving way to something sharper, hope. I told him the copies had already been delivered, to my lawyer, to the police, to her. That his parents' financial mismanagement was now documented alongside his own. that the photographs of her injuries paired with the doctor's falsified notes would be interesting in court. I didn't raise my voice. Every word landed like a pin driven into wood. His parents stared, denial already cracking. Her mother-in-law opened her mouth, but I cut across her without looking. She leaves with me. Now. He didn't argue, not because he agreed, but because he'd already lost, and we both knew it. We didn't speak on the drive back. She stared out the window, hands folded in her lap. I didn't reach for them, not yet. I left her at my house with a locked door, a warm meal, a list of names she could call without fear. Then I went to bed. Not satisfied, not happy, just still. In the morning, I burned the note she had given me. She didn't need it anymore, and neither did I. They will circle in their own ruin now, him, his parents, blaming each other until there's nothing left to tear apart. I have my daughter back, and I will never forgive them for making her ask.